What's that ring you got on your finger?
Clattering.
What?
Clattering.
Clatter?
Clatter.
Clatter.
Yeah.
Clatter?
Clatter.
Clatter? Clatter.
Clatter.
Clatter, clatter.
Clatter.
What's it mean?
Means I'm single.
Oh! Means she's single.
Isn't the direction that it faces?
Yeah. If it was that way on my finger, I would not be single.
Intro, right there. G'day mate, my name's Dave.
And I'm Brad.
And this is
Siobhan.
Siobhan. Siobhan is my daughter. And she's single.
We've already established this.
And today, we are going to smoke the Django from Foundation Cigars.
This is the Django.
Let's just have a...
Oh, I have a question already.
Already?
When you smell it,
She's always questions.
are you supposed to put your nose on it? Because I always feel weird, like...
Well, that's actually a good question.
It's like wiping my nose.
If it's your cigar and you've already bought it, you can do whatever the hell you like with it.
Oh, it smells like...
But if you haven't bought it yet, you just respectfully
If you haven't
smell
bought
the
it,
foot.
don't
This is
smell
called the foot. You just smell the foot. So Siobhan is not a noob.
I'm going to speak for everybody and say we don't want to know about your fetishes and feats. That you should keep to yourself.
Siobhan is not a noob.
We like to call her Shibooops.
Shibooops? Shiboopy.
Brad's the only
Shiboopy.
one that calls
Shaboopy. Shaboopy.
Oh, again.
What's that?
Nothing. Good.
So,
Here.
Siobhan, you're not a noob to cigars, but what do you normally smoke?
Java and acids, and that's it.
All the sweet things.
Infused.
Hey Dave, I have a question.
Yes, mate.
What was dropping acid like in the 60s?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh, that is sweet. Mmm. Oh, Brad, you're going to hate this cigar.
I know. We all make sacrifices.
We make sacrifices. You're making sacrifices for Shiboopy.
Yeah, we just sacrifice
So
the shit.
this is...
Not Shapoopy, it's Shibooops.
Shibooops.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Mrs. Shibooops.
Miss.
Miss Shibooops.
Miss.
Oh, sorry, Miss Shibooops.
Miss, yeah. We've already sort of got that single.
Yeah.
Single and of legal age to smoke cigars, because in Maryland, like in many other places, you must be 21 to be able to smoke a cigar. And so this is one of the upsetters.
You know what I'm upset about?
What are you upset about?
I don't know.
Right, so this is one of the upsetters from one of our favourites, Nick Melillo, Foundation Cigars. We're pairing this with, I'm having coffee, you're having coffee.
Hey Dave, why are we having coffee?
Because we just drank a ton of bourbon and we can't drink any more.
That's true.
That's true. So this is the Django 5x54
What does that mean?
Nicaraguan Puro 5x54.
Yeah.
It means it's 5 inches long. This is 5 inches.
I've been
Siobhan.
lied to.
What am I tasting?
You've been lied to. Hey.
Yeah?
Shh.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna leave now.
Help. And 54, Siobhan, is 54 64ths. So there's 64 bits to an inch. This is 54 of those bits.
So, okay.
So it's
Cue the crickets.
Yeah, no, that just seems... Well, I can... Yeah, okay.
What, you like them thicker?
That's what she said.
Dave, stop. You stop too. Honestly.
I was raised...
No.
Do not make me get your mother and your wife.
Okay.
There's public out here.
It's my daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's got a little bit of devil.
You don't talk
She's got a
about
little bit of
penis.
devil.
You don't talk about penises with daughters.
I'm literally the devil's spawn.
That makes sense. Help.
This is not really classified as a infused cigar.
No, it is a almost pretty much a Nicaraguan puro for those noobs, boobs out there. That means that it's Nicaraguan through and through. So binder, filler, and wrapper are Nicaraguan. The only difference with this, though, it's got a blend of Jamaican tobacco, but it's not the funny tobacco that you smoked in your entire time in the Navy in the 1940s. This is got a nice blend and infusion of some spices.
So, for one of the reasons we want you here, Siobhan, we'll let you get started. You got to suck on it.
Stop.
So one of the reasons we want you to do this cigar with us is because, as per our conversation with Nick Melillo, this is like a transition cigar from the sweets that you've been having to real cigars.
Saw that coming.
So what do you make of it on light up?
Clove. That is what I get initially from the cigar. That's what I smelled, and now I taste. Clove.
Clove?
Clove.
You know, back in the day,
Nope.
when I used to smoke cigarettes, I started off actually smoking with the Malaysians that were in the Navy with me.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to smoke these cigarettes called...
Lucky Strikes?
No, they're like Gurang or something like that. Gurang. And they were cigarettes that were full of cloves.
The joke didn't land.
No, it didn't land, no. Sometimes I just...
You know what Lucky
sometimes I
Strikes
just
are?
ignore him.
You know what Lucky Strikes are?
No.
It's what the troops smoked in World War II. You know, when you served.
Ah, I got your joke.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. No, I think they were called Gurang or something like that. And they had cloves in them. And there was this very pungent aroma about them. And I get a hint of that. I'm not going to say it's as strong as that, but I definitely get a hint of that with this cigar, straight up. And with those, it was quite pungent and like overpowering. Here it's very subtle.
So from my extensive research on the Foundation Cigar website,
Yeah, tell us about it.
we're supposed to be getting that clove taste with a little bit of sweet tea, a little citrus,
Sweet tea, I could give you sweet tea.
and then those typical Nicaraguan flavors that you get of coffee and a little cocoa.
Yeah, I think I can taste the coffee. That's very
Yeah.
strong in this.
So
I don't think I've had a coffee.
your
in
taste
this
buds would be
scent.
pretty worked up with sweet tea, right?
Yeah.
Because you like the whole country boy thing, don't you?
I like all of the country things, but yeah, that's one of them.
Particularly the country boys.
They're okay.
You're ragging her out. You drive a truck. You wear cowboy hats. Yes, you're wearing cowboy boots right now. Are you wearing the boots?
No, I took them off.
What are you wearing now?
Socks.
I have Uggs.
She has Uggs too. Uggs are very comfy. Go
Uggs
get
are
yourself
Australian.
some Uggs.
Always with the lamb.
She likes country boys. What can I say? She needs to find herself a nice country boy.
So again,
I think I could taste the citrus too.
Oh.
yeah. This is very different than we typically smoke.
This is not sweet.
So remember way back when we did the Sweet Jane,
See,
our very first video?
how can I forget?
You just railed against that. You were like, I don't want to do it. And I said to you at that time, the Django would be a sweet cigar that you could smoke.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking so far, Siobhan?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's not what I would pick out of something yet, purely just because it's not infused and like it's not as sweet as I expected. Like from the smell of it, it smells a lot sweeter than it is like tasting. But also, I'm still at the very, very end.
Yeah, that's right. Now it does. I mean, it is a full. It's a full-bodied cigar.
But it's going pretty good with Sprite, actually.
It would pair with something sweet nicely. I'm drinking black coffee, Black Rifle coffee, as we always drink. So I actually think this would go better with a little bit of bourbon. I might grab some bourbon if you just give me a second to come back.
Please no.
You don't want any bourbon?
Nope.
Nope. Had enough bourbon today. We just did another video.
If he can shake his head like that, I think he's fine.
Yeah. If you stop now, does the room keep moving?
The room's been moving for an hour.
Never mind.
I've been room surfing in this house for about an hour.
So, you, Brad, have become a bit of a big brother to Siobhan.
A bit of a big brother, yes.
Got any questions for her right now while she's on camera? You chicken. You were like, hot when we get Siobhan on the camera, I'm gonna give her all the hard questions and everything else. And now you get up here, you're on the camera, you've got Siobhan here, she's cornered, she can't escape, and you're not gonna ask her anything.
You see, Dave.
Oh, I could definitely escape.
As a big brother,
He doesn't want anyone to know anything about me.
Hope this.
He's like, hide.
I don't need to ask any questions because I have all the answers.
Oh.
That's true.
You have all the answers.
I do.
Can you give me some?
No. I do want to talk about one thing other than your country life. You're not a noob.
I wouldn't say I'm not a noob. I'm like one step up from a noob. But
You're
I'm not.
noobin. You're moving from the noob.
I'm a boob.
You're a boob.
I'm a boob.
This is a great opportunity to ask someone who's 90 years or older some questions about cigar smoking over the last 50 or 60 years.
Oh yeah?
I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about your papa. Your papa. What are some questions that you have for us, or cigar smokers in general, that you'd like to have answered?
So, like, when you're a noob, and you're not quite a noob,
I'm not quite a noob.
but you're kind of noobish.
Boobish.
So what are some things that were intimidating about cigars, or that you wanted to know about cigars?
Well, definitely something that's still something that gets me now is trying any new cigars.
Uh-huh.
Like, I know everyone down the lounge, and I'm totally comfortable down the lounge. I know everybody that works at the lounge, yet I still always get the same two cigars. It's always a Cuba or a
Well.
Java. It's just always the same thing.
Funny you should say.
Yeah.
There's this really great YouTube channel called Cigars.
But it's more about asking somebody, like, what else to, like, try is more nerve-wracking, because you'll sometimes think, like, oh, well, they won't know, or, like, they'll get it and they'll be offended if I don't like it, or, like, something
Right.
like that.
I mean, that in itself. So you go to your local lounge, you ask one of the Dwaynes.
Yes, we've all met Dwayne before.
Yes.
Hi, Dwayne.
Hi, Dwayne.
Hi, Dwayne.
You ask one of the Dwaynes.
We love Dwayne.
the Dwaynes, because we're country this episode. You ask
Dwayne.
Dwayne. You ask Dwayne.
We asked Dwayne,
Dwayne.
what sort of cigar should I have?
And then they give you a bad recommendation. What do you do?
Nope.
That's a good answer, right? Do you smoke the whole thing and suffer? Do you tell them you gave me a crap recommendation? Because here's the
Well, that's a good question. How would you deal with that?
yeah, I mean, do you tell them so that they don't give you the same crappy recommendation?
Or somebody else.
So I can speak on this, right? So I'll talk a little bit about.
And just before you talk about that, I should say, I don't think Dwayne's ever given anybody a crappy
No, I've never got
selection.
anything bad.
Like, Dwayne listens to what your palate is and knows the cigars really well. So let's just take Dwayne out of the picture for a
Yes.
moment.
But I
very-
feel like Dwayne is a 1 in a million.
Yeah,
so.
That's a fair call.
So there's a gentleman that frequents the lounge quite often. You've met him. You've met him as well. I don't necessarily want to put his name out there, but he's an incredible gentleman. He works in real estate. He rides motorcycles, so you're probably going to get to know who I'm talking about at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to smoke cigars while he's riding.
Right.
He always comes in and will ask me, "What do you got that's new? What can I try?" And it's very unnerving, right? Because he puts you on the spot.
Rodney.
Thank you. Mr. Rodney. Awesome dude. And he always puts you on the spot and asks,
What do you got?
"What do you got?"
Yeah.
And you want to always choose right. And it is sometimes very nerve-wracking.
So what you're saying, from a person's point of view that's working in the store,
Yeah.
it's intimidating.
It is.
Oh my goodness. If I give this person a bad cigar, what are they going to think? Are they going to listen to me next
So
time?
if you
Are
gave
they going to
me-
even tell me? Are they going to tell me if it was bad or not, right? Like, I always wonder.
So if you gave me a bad one, what would you want me to say?
I want you to tell me so I can find you the right cigar for your palate.
Right.
And I will never be offended. And again, most cigar lounges, if you go in and you ask and you're a regular and I give you a crappy cigar, tell us. Most of the time they'll take it back, get you on something that's good. And again, we want you at the end of the day to be satisfied, right? And get what you want. So we want you to tell you, but as a good consumer of that lounge, sometimes you're not going to want to say anything.
No.
Because you have respect and you took the risk as well. Like, hey, and cigars are not cheap. Premium cigars, you're spending $8 to $15 every time you go in to get something. That's not throwaway money, right?
No. So
that's a good dinner.
So that's a really good point. And you know, every cigar lounge is different. So some places, if they recommend you a cigar and you don't like it, they'll actually take it back, like you just said, and say, look, I'm really sorry about that, try this one instead. Other places, they go, too bad, you paid for it. But I think you should still tell them, right? I mean, and that's what you're asking. What do you do?
If I was somebody that recommends people cigars, now I don't because I smoke like 2. But if I did, I would want them to maybe not rub it in my face that you f***ed up, but tell me like, tell me like, you know, that one didn't quite hit and why, if they can like pinpoint why.
Yeah.
So I can, you know, for the next person too.
Right.
As well. Like if I come in and I say, hey, that didn't work out, and Brad comes in the next time and asks for the same thing, then they're not going to give him that cigar.
Yeah.
So I think maybe not saying it in like a mean way, like,
but feedback's important.
You suck,
It
but
is.
being like, that wasn't quite right.
And I'm singling Rodney out for a little bit, and I got to send him the video, you know, probably for him to watch. But
Rodney subscribes, I think. So,
Yeah.
Rodney, shout out to you. We'll have to go for a ride when it warms up a little bit.
I've only given him one bad cigar.
What was it?
I don't remember his cigar.
You've given me a bad cigar.
I have.
I don't remember what it
I
was.
think more
It
than
had a
one.
purple label. It was like a Spanish.
Oh, the Spanish press from
The Spanish press.
La Gloria.
From La Gloria. Now, you love that cigar,
I did.
but I didn't. Wasn't my taste profile
And
at
for
all.
me, that cigar in particular is a great $6 and lower cigar.
Yeah.
So it is still premium tobacco, but it's a very approachable cigar.
I can definitely taste the sweet tea now.
You can taste the sweet tea?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying this?
Siobhan, it's sweet tea.
Sweet tea?
You gotta be sweet tea. You gotta say it right.
Are you enjoying this?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I could have it without a drink,
No.
like right now. But like, yeah.
Now,
it's okay.
what
It's
do
weird.
you normally smoke?
Cuba
Cuba
Deluxe,
Cuba Deluxe,
1400s,
Sweet Janes,
Sweet Janes,
Crazy Alice,
Fat Bottom Betties.
Fat Bottom Belly, all the yummy bitches. You smoke all the yummy bitches
Fat-
line.
That
Yeah.
bottom belly.
Betty,
Oh, you said belly.
did I?
And
I
Javas.
was looking at you at the time.
Javas.
Jarvis. What's
Jarvis.
another Drew estate?
What's the long one? Oh, Tatiana's.
Oh, Tatiana's. Yeah, you like the Tatiana's.
They're
That's
okay.
actually what you started with, isn't
I
it?
did start on those because they were so like long and thin that like they would stay
You
lit.
liked the shape?
Yeah.
Stop. Like right here. Stop. It's very uncomfortable. Don't laugh. You're encouraging it.
So, I love the way the ash is hanging on here, the construction of this. I don't know if you can see that from up there, but you see the beautiful burn that we're getting on this? You can't tell from these two plebs. They've already ashed, but
I always ash on myself, and I'm not risking it in a video
What's
that's
a
gone on
pleb?
YouTube.
What's a pleb?
what's a pleb? A
like-
plebeian, a pleb.
Like a noob.
It's like a
like in COD when
peasant.
you yell at someone.
Like a-
and she's like,
like a-
ah, you noob.
like a peasant.
Yeah, like
a
you
plebe.
suck.
You just called us a peasant.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, beautiful construction.
maybe later.
I'm gonna make
What we come to expect from Foundation Cigars, really,
You know, something that I actually want to point out is this is, I think, the smokiest cigar I've ever had.
Oh, good point. So smoke production on this is huge.
Yeah, I don't think I've had any, like, even the Cuba Cubas, which are, like, big, don't have the same, like, draw that this does.
Draw.
A draw.
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 There you go.
It's choked on
But doing
the
every-
word draw.
We're down here doing everything southern.
So, so no, you're right though. Smoke production on these is huge, and that's a big thing with cigars.
And it's not like where we are, it's just the...
And it gives you a really full flavour, a really full feeling in your mouth.
Giggity.
Sally, please help! You are the mother and matriarch of this family.
Sally's over there.
Tell them it's inappropriate.
Are we? She wants. Should we behave?
That look says nah.
She's saying nothing. We're okay.
Oh, I have another question.
Okay, go shoot.
When is a good time to take off the wrapper? Because
When it starts burning?
I've got really funny looks when I open up a cigar and take off the wrapper right away. Because I know I'll sit there and have a conversation and just puff, puff, puff.
We've covered that in our boob series.
And it gets there, but I feel stupid when it like gets too hot to take off.
It's a good question.
So is it cigar etiquette to not take it off like right when you take it out of the cellophane?
So the cigar wrapper protects the cigar while you're holding it,
Okay.
and
You're supposed
it
to
does.
hold it on it?
Yeah, I hold the cigar wrapper itself. Try and keep my fingers off the cigar as much as possible. They glue these things on with like a vegetable gum. So you actually want to take it off when the burn line gets close to it, because the warmth of this head burning here will loosen that gum wrapper, and it will make it easier to take off.
Gotcha.
And so you want to leave it on as long as you can, not so close that you're trying to burn your fingers when you're getting it.
Well, I'm always talking, so I'm just like smoking it, and then I'm like,
Really?
oh shoot.
You're always talking? Not like her at all to talk. What do you get on the retro house, Siobhan?
What do I get on the retro hell?
Yeah, have you retro held?
I've done it a couple of times accidentally and died.
Let's have a retro house.
No, I'll die.
Let's try a retro house.
I like eating, and I'll lose all feeling in my throat.
So you know how to retro house?
In theory, yeah.
Give it a go.
No,
Go on.
no.
Don't let
Because
him.
that'll be the intro. And I don't want to be the intro.
And the 90 seconds of sexual humor is not going to be the intro.
Hope it is. I'm already breathing in enough as it is coming back at me.
That's what she said. Sweet tea is definitely a big portion of this. I'm going to say sweet tea.
And clove.
And clove. Sweet tea and cloves.
And citrus.
I get the citrus.
I'm not really getting the citrus.
I get the citrus.
I am.
You getting the citrus?
Yeah. What is it like walking into a lounge full of dudes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. Especially being young. I don't, like, not even speaking on, like, the female aspect. Being young and walking into a cigar lounge is very nerve-wracking. I think, like, the only time that, like, the first time going in was because the parents went. Like, I would not have gone in by
But you've
myself.
gone, you actually frequent the lounge sometimes more than they do.
Yeah, so now that I feel more comfortable there, and, like, I'm happy to go by myself because I know people, and I know everybody that works there and everything like that. But I definitely wouldn't have gone without the parents, but I would definitely suggest going if you're, like, young and all that kind of stuff. But going at a time that, like, you think somebody your age would go. So, like, don't go in the middle of a work day. Somebody's gonna be working. Like, they're gonna be the old guys that work from home or own their own business, and they're taking a lunch break and they're at the lounge. I would go, like, after work, like 6, 7 p.m. until closing. That's when I would go, because that's when other people my age go.
So something interesting you said there. So how do you feel the guys that are much older than you, more my age, that are running their own businesses and whatever, how do they treat you when you're down the lounge?
Like a daughter. Like, I'm scared to bring people there. I brought a guy once, and I was like, "You're gonna die." Just FYI, just don't say anything silly.
So they became a little bit protective of you.
Don't be rude.
So
Don't joke. You're not going to the lounge. You're going to meet my fathers. Like there's more than one. Yes, they're very, very protective and everything like that. Definitely not in the beginning, but like as you grow into the community of like that lounge.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because that community atmosphere is very much what it is.
That's the only reason I leave the house. Like I work from home, I like eat at home, all this kind of stuff. So basically, the only thing is grocery shopping, taking my dog out, and going to the lounge. So the lounge is my social aspect.
It's part of your community, and when you find a lounge that you frequent. And you get that community environment going.
Here's my eyebrows.
No, they're good.
It's because I painted them on.
It's funny you say that too. Like it is very much a community that ends up. It's a local community that goes, and it's very respectful. And we talked about that lounge etiquette piece about not talking about politics, religion, and all that. But at the end of the day, you're still interacting with family, right? And you have family in there that you don't like, right? You respect.
That's true. There's
true.
people in the lounge that.
But respect is always there.
You don't. It's not. They're not the people you're going to invite to your house.
It's like that
But you just respect
granddad
for them.
that like can't hear, so you don't really want to have a conversation with because he makes you repeat it like 8 times. But you
Or-
still do it.
You
'cause
talking
it's
about
granddad.
me?
She said yes.
No, but it's that kind of respect.
But there's young people go to the lounge too, right?
There is, yeah.
So is it Brent?
I mean, I met Ian there. That's where we met Ian.
Yeah.
That's where I met Jamie, your wife.
Nick's down there quite a bit. Who's a drummer in a
Drummer
band,
boy.
quite a famous band. Yeah, drummer boy. Yeah.
I don't think I called him Nick.
So there's a lot of young people getting into cigars as well. You just got to pick the right time that they're there. And I've got to say, the lounge that we go to is quite a large lounge. There's probably maybe 15 chairs in the lounge.
Yep.
So, there's 15 people there. It's not like where you go to a cigar lounge, you got this pokey little corner where there's 4 chairs. So you find a cigar lounge that's a nice place to hang out, and it's got really good ventilation.
Yeah.
And it becomes a very social environment, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, during, like, what was it, like UFC season and football season, there'd be stuff down the lounge. Like, we'd have get-togethers. We'd bring food, and we'd have a couple of drinks. Always have tons of cigars, obviously, because we're there. And it'd honestly be like the Friday Night Lights type of thing, but just not at home. It was like a center for everyone, because somebody's houses was too far.
Why would you frequent a lounge versus going to a bar?
A bar?
Yeah. Like, we live in a very downtown kind of environment where there's a ton of bars and quite a nightlife.
Places you can drink, that kind of place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. One, I just turned 21 during COVID, so I haven't been out much except like a couple of times to one bar with like one friend, and I'm not going out by myself. There's no way. I am small and blonde and very anxious around new places.
So,
Not going by
She is
myself.
not innocent and she is quite violent. I've seen it happen.
I do not disagree with that at all.
So you're a pretty good martial artist, aren't you?
I'm alright. Do okay.
Well, you won the state championships for sword
Did.
at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put
and
that video in, aren't you?
you maybe.
I regret my hair choices. That's all I'm saying.
And you grew up in a martial arts school.
I did, with a Navy dad and 2 brothers.
And 2 brothers, and you're a 3rd degree in Kempo,
Yes.
and a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yep.
So you can handle yourself.
Definitely. And I carry a knife.
Shh.
You're allowed to carry knives in this country.
Yeah, okay.
Which, by the way, about 2 hours ago, I turned the corner and that knife was out and I almost died.
Well,
Did not. I was fixing it. It was loose.
Safe.
actually, adding to that, you're also graded in Paquiti Tertia,
Yes.
right? And you've travelled the world and worked in martial arts schools of different kinds.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know what Paquiti Tertia is, because I don't think there's a lot of people that know what that is. What is that?
It's like stick and knife training from the Philippines.
Yeah, stick and knife fighting. She's pretty deadly, right?
I like knives.
You know what else she's deadly in?
What's she deadly in?
Shooting.
It's a pretty good shot.
We're okay with that too.
I think we've actually got some footage of Siobhan shooting as well.
We gotta.
We might put that in there too.
We should.
We should go shooting. We got some
Yeah.
time.
We should go shooting.
That was meant to transfer along to me.
Oh.
Please.
There we go.
The only thing I've shot with Dave is a staple gun.
He's not very good at that either. So, and you like trucks, and you like.
Are you selling me?
And
Is that what this is?
We're taking bids in the comments below.
Nothing below $2,000.
$2,000, really? I was hoping to get more.
Half price.
Oh,
on
really?
What? Sorry.
Like, come with baggage.
Oh, a 6-month-old German Shepherd puppy,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
She likes to bite toes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Sorry, what?
I like trucks.
And a couple older brothers.
Sorry, I'm just
Couple of older brothers.
selling my daughter off.
Couple of dads.
Yeah, a few dads,
Brad
few big brothers.
Brad threatens to kill you sometimes.
You like to ride motorcycles?
By the way.
No, I don't like to ride motorcycles. I like to be the person on the back.
Hold
Passenger
on.
on the back.
I like to be on the back.
The death threats only work if you let me follow through with them.
So how you got on this cigar? Now this is your first cigar outside of the Yummy Bitches range.
It's getting pretty strong now,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know how I feel about that. But I can still taste the sweet tea in it, which is definitely good because I feel like without that it would be too strong.
Yeah.
But I would.
Well, like I said, it's actually a full-bodied cigar. It's a little bit deceptive, this cigar.
Oh, I have a
And
question.
I'm glad that it's actually in a short size. I think you'd class it as a robusto.
She's got a question.
So you got
I
a
have
question?
What question?
Go for it.
Yeah, I think you've answered this one before, but like, I need ways to like fix it. Is when I like smoke out with people, and I smoke too much because they're just like all there, and everybody's smoking, and you just keep going. You buy another one and keep going. When I get like that, like nicotine buzz kind of thing. Like I know
yep.
you guys have said like just like sugar kind
Yeah.
of like a broad aspect of sugar.
Yeah.
But what is something that like is like a put in your cigar bag to take with you in your pocket?
You're
just
gonna
to
like my answer.
fix it.
You're gonna love my answer.
Because I feel stupid sitting there like.
No, you're gonna love my answer. You ready? Chocolate. So sometimes when you have a cigar, like you're not inhaling your cigar, but
I just went cross-eyed looking at the label. It's really cool.
it's a really cool label. It is. So you're not inhaling your cigar, but you do intake nicotine through your mouth.
And especially if you're in a group.
You absorb it. Yeah, and some cigars are very strong. The nicotine level is very high in some cigars, and you can get this head rush feeling, like almost like you've had too much bourbon there, Bradley.
Why are you looking at me? What are you looking at me for?
Not looking at anything.
This isn't my fault.
So that nicotine rush, the cure for that is sugar. So if you take some gummy bears or some
Snickers.
chocolate, and chocolate goes generally very well with cigars, and you just have a little bit of that. Outside of that, something like this Sprite that Siobhan's drinking now, or a Coke, something that's going to get that sweet into your system rather rapidly. That helps neutralize the nicotine rush that you get,
Okay.
and that's what you're feeling.
So I have a follow-up question with that.
Okay.
Does alcohol make it worse? Like if I am smoking and I get that rush and I'm drinking like
Oh, I can answer
a
that.
Jack and Coke, is the Coke gonna help even though I'm drinking and it
No.
is like got the Jack in it?
No, definitely not.
No?
No, I was just on the floor about an hour.
Yeah, but we were drinking straight bourbon.
That was, yeah. So I'm going to say yes, it does help because there's a lot of sugar in spirits.
Okay.
So you'll find, that we drink a lot of bourbon with our cigars.
Yeah,
Everybody
but I
knows.
drink a lot of like Mike's and like
And that's okay too
That
because
kind of
it's the
stuff.
sugar content that's going to help neutralize the nicotine.
because I find that it is when I'm not drinking something with it or
Mhm.
water with it, that's when I get more of a nicotine rush.
Yeah, if you're having just water with
Or
your
just
cigar,
coffee.
Or
Plain
even
coffee.
even just black coffee. See, black coffee's really good because it cleans your palate,
Yeah.
and you can taste the flavors in the cigar really well. But it's got no sugar in it, unless you, like you do with your sweet tea. It's got more sugar than it's got tea.
I don't
But
drink
if you have black coffee and a cigar in the morning and you don't eat anything, just even like a croissant or some like a turnover or something like that, you can end up feeling that rush.
Yeah.
And like why, like it's too much in the morning. Sometimes just doing the both.
Well, that's why we ramp cigars, right?
Come again?
We ramp
What does that mean?
cigars.
What is
Like
ramp?
yeah.
So you ramp your cigars. So you start with a mild cigar in the morning. We're talking about a Foundation tonight. So a Charter Oak Shade would be a really nice morning cigar. And then as you go through the day, you'll up the strength of your cigar. So you might go then to a Charter Oak Maduro. And then later on, you'll go to, say, a Wise Man or a Tabernacle. So you might go Charter Oak Shade, Charter Oak Maduro, El Huense, and then finish the day with a Tabernacle.
The day, jeez. That's a lot in one day.
That's 4 cigars. That is a lot for a lot of people. It's 4 cigars in a day.
So how do you know the progression? I usually smoke at night, so I only smoke the same thing, sweet at night. Doesn't change anything for me.
Yeah, okay, so if you're only having 1 or 2 a day and you're having them in the evening, you've generally eaten through the day and your palate has strengthened through the day from breakfast, lunch, and maybe after dinner you're having a cigar. And so it's not as important then. If you're smoking multiple cigars in a day though, then you do need to sort of grade them. And it's good for your palate too. So, you know, we talk on here about trying different cigars. If you get caught into the stream of I only smoke sweets, like you have been at the moment, your palate gets so used to that nothing else you won't like anything else.
Yeah.
If you only smoke Maduros, the dark wrapper ones, then you get caught in that. It's kind of important to change the flavors to be able to expand your palate and expand that flavor profile.
Okay.
So it's really good to try different ones, and that's part of what we try and talk about here with
just
Traveling
to touch
Bro
on what you said and to mirror what you had said, Dave, is I like to think of that progression like coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a cup of coffee, a latte, or a cappuccino, or a black coffee, or even just black coffee. You can have, there are very wide ranges of strains with coffee. Just because you're smoking or drinking a black coffee doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be strong or light. The roasts are different.
Yeah.
And it's how it's made or prepared.
Yeah.
And cigars are very similar to that. So that strength profile is in each cigar. And you're not going to just know that by looking at a Maduro wrapper, or not knowing that it's just a Connecticut wrapper. You're going to know that by having the knowledge of the cigar, or leveraging the knowledge of a Duane.
Yeah.
So
At the
would
lounge.
you advise that if you are thinking about doing like the progression and doing morning cigars and everything like that, to sort of take the time and stand in the humidor at the store and Google it?
Great that you say that. Traveling Brothers Cigars, we go through a lot of that, not only with our Noobs Cigars, but in each review that we do, we talk about some of the strain profiles of the cigars, and how you spend the time is just that. Go to your local lounge, frequent them, and ask questions. You have to do your research.
So that's a really good time. So we've been going for about 40 minutes now, and you saw this was a short cigar. Let's talk about what we've got out of this cigar. It is getting stronger towards the end.
Yeah.
We're all feeling that. I think it's actually probably got a good nicotine content in this particular cigar.
Yes.
This is one that you would get a buzz out of if you didn't have anything else.
Yes. Feeling that.
Sweet tea. I've gotten sweet tea predominantly from it. Citrus. You guys have mentioned citrus. I haven't had the citrus quite so much, but that could be a me thing.
Mild coffee taste.
mild coffee taste.
Well, you say that, but for me, the coffee taste is very strong. But I've never had a coffee cigar before.
Oh, the Javas that you have with coffee.
No, I only have the red wrapper ones, which is like the cocoa.
Okay. So, alright, so you're getting some coffee from that.
Yeah,
Coffee. Okay,
but
good.
that's prominent for me because I haven't had coffee.
And let's just point out, these are not really infused cigars like you get from the other line that we've been talking about, the Yummy Bixes. This is rolled specifically by Nick Melillo to bring on this middle tier, to take people from the sweets to the regulars. That's the goal of this range of cigars. And the Django, very nice cigar. I've obviously got a box of them here in my humidor. I find it, I mean, I don't smoke this all the time. It's not an everyday cigar for me, but it's an occasional nice dessert cigar or sweet cigar. I can't even say really sweet. Can you say sweet?
I don't know. The sweet tea doesn't really have the sweet to it for me, but also I'm only
So it's not a
sweet
dipped
cigars.
infused.
No.
It's a spice and citrus infused.
Yeah.
And it comes through with that. It's just it's a breed of its own. And
Definitely go out and get yourself a Django. Give it a try.
it's an experience.
It's a good experience. I think you'd like them.
Yeah.
It's if you've got a friend or a partner who is right into the sweet cigars and you want to start to try to break them out of that into some other cigar lines, this is a good one to get them along the way. This is a step in the right direction. I think following this, there'd be some other mild cigars and some other ranges that you could take them to from this.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is as close as a Nicaraguan Dominican cigar as you can get. So I feel the next progression to this would be a great Monty White.
I'm thinking the Southern Draw Rose of Sharon,
Yeah.
and their new one, the Manzanita, which the Manzanita is a very fruity apple sort of flavour, and that would go really nicely as a step up from this one to a different, into that line of not infused. All right, well, that's all from me.
That's all for me.
And that's all from me.
Yes, we got the first person to get it right the first time.
I know, shit.
Really?
Ian and Dwayne.
Yeah.
Naturally blonde people.
Like, subscribe. We'll catch you around. Follow the link to get some of these marvelous cigars. We'll have a link in the bottom that you can buy some of these. The Django from Foundation Cigars, Nick Melillo. Good job.
Dave's cigar humidor is going to be losing a few.
Oh, there we go. Convert. Good stuff. Catch you later.